I'm just utilizing a really cool technique here, which is a combination of techniques actually. I used to think that sliding like that was impossible because, how do you actually make your hand stop in the right place on the right note? But that's not that hard. You just need to practice it. How do you practice it? Well, because you can slide slowly, right? You can't throw a ball slowly because you got gravity. It's just going to end up on the ground before it reaches the goal or whatever you're trying to hit. But here, you can just slow down your motions, which means that you can practice and master this in no time at all. So that's the first part. The second part is we need to bend in a special way. First you get this wah up to the note, and then you go wah, a bend, so it sounds crazy, right? It also sounds like extreme blues, right? Like it's crazy blues, right? So it's a really cool technique. But the way to first practice the slide is to simply just start in some area. So what you do is you actually start moving your hand before you strum the strings. And I say strum because I'm actually muting all the strings with my first and second finger down here. And then I'm using my third finger on the B string in this case. I'm playing in the key of E, E minor pentatonic or E blues scale. And then I'm moving my hand, all right, so let's do this slowly. I'm moving my hand up the fretboard. Here we go, slow motion. And then at some point down here, as I'm moving, I start pressing my finger down, my third finger to the frets, and I say frets because it's moving. So, all right, and then I have the slide, and I get that, all right, right, that's slowly, right, and once I got that going, I can simply just slowly, with no rushing, no trying to push for speed, which we don't do in this little club here. And I can bring it all the way up to the 15th fret. And you can do that right now with no practice. You can say, okay, I'm going to put the first two fingers across the, okay, I got that muted sound, good. Then I'm going to put my third finger on any note there on the B string, okay. Then I'm going to start moving this, and as I move it like this, with my third finger pressed towards the note, right, I'm just going to go, right, and move it up to the 15th fret, right? That's what I'm going to do. And if I told you now to do that 100 times, yes, 100 times, but don't make mistakes. I don't want to hear one single mistake. I don't want to hit. I want to hear you hit, hit another note than the 15th fret on the B string. So put your third finger on the B string. Put the like that, muting. That's a little bit of a weird feeling in the hand if this is the first time you do it, because you have to have tension on the third finger towards the fretboard, and the other ones has to be like elegantly, softly muting the strings, right? It doesn't sound very nice, but that's what you do, and you do it 100 times, and you don't make mistakes. I promise you, after 100 times of not making mistakes, you will be 10 times ahead of the guy over there who is going like, right? Who's trying to hit that freaking fret, but keeps sliding too long or too short, right? So you simply go. Once you're there, and I hope you get this, by focusing on accuracy and precision instead of speed, you actually practice what it is that you want to learn, because you don't want to become good at hitting the wrong fret while you're sliding. But that's what you become good at when that's all you do over and over again, because you're trying to do it fast and you can't, right? So instead of doing that, just do it 100 times and hit the freaking note, right, every single time, instead of pushing for speed. Pushing for speed in anything on this instrument is retarded, right? We can use that word now because we don't use that about actually retarded people anymore. So that is free for all, and it is a retarded way of playing guitar. Don't do it, because it simply it doesn't give you the result you want, which is the mere definition. Actually, a better word is dysfunctional. You're trying to achieve something, which is the skill of going, of hitting the right note in the right way. And what you achieve by the method that you are devising, or that the brain devises, because it's an idiot when it comes to learning guitar. It's not good at that. It wasn't built for that. It's super intelligent, so it can devise and figure out ways of doing it. But the first intuitive method of doing it is always idiotic. So when you focus on accuracy and precision, you're actually repeating what it is that you want to speed up, and the speed just falls naturally. So after doing it 100 times, try doing it a little bit faster than you normally would, and I promise you, it's right there. Boom. So once you have that down, you bend up the note once it's there, right? So if without the slide, you will go, right? Once it's at the top, the note, and the top is in this case, one semitone or one whole tone above the note that you are actually fretting, right? Right? So decide, where do you want to end up? Because once you're there, you want to stop the note. If there's anything that characterizes a beginner bender when it comes, it is that we take the note down without shutting it up, right? So instead of going, right, then you go, right? That's the bend. Or you can bring it down, but then you go, wow, you know exactly where you're going, and you're bringing it back like that. It's not like a, right? That's too bluesy, right? So, right? And then you stop it at the top. So let's say it's a semitone. You might want to practice that bend by itself, because it's a feeling thing, right? And the cool thing is, it's a different feeling down here than it is up here. So that's, you know, but so you have to practice that. And if you want to do it right, you can take your looper pedal. I don't have my amp on, but you can play the note that you're bending up to, right? Play it on your looper, and then practice going, right? And then you can kind of tune your way to it. That's a very cool way of doing it. But so you combine the two. Right, so you start down here and stop at the top. And you can, you know, right? I'm just, in this case, I'm bending up the 15th fret, of course, stopping it. Then I'm doing the same thing to the 13th fret on the B string, right? And then I'm the 14th fret on the G string, right? Good deal of vibrato there, right? A really powerful blues lick here. So practice this, and you can use this slide for many, right? In many different contexts, right? So have fun with it, and don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment below here.